guys, good morning. Welcome back to the Red Devil Circle. I hope you guys are doing great. There's quite a bit of news to get into this morning surrounding Manchester United. As always, we're going to give you our thoughts and let's dive into it without wasting too much time. Let's see what we have to feed into going into this game. And obviously the thumbnail there, or the title says that Mctominay, a possible transfer for Mctominay could happen. In my opinion, I think it will be a summer transfer instead of a January transfer, just considering it's Westham and they might not be able to fund a January transfer, in my opinion. I think such a signing could be, it's kind of a big one for them. And if they're gonna go with Harry Maguire as well and Mctominay, I think that might be something they'll be looking to do in the summer. But yeah, we're gonna talk about possible transfer for Scott McTominay, because one of their star players in West Ham is coming out and obviously speaking openly about that transfer. Also, we're gonna talk about Sancho. All the news we're getting from the news outlets and whatnot about Sancho and all the negative news surrounding Sancho. We're going to talk about that, and more importantly, we're going to talk about Casemiro and the injury update, because apparently Casemiro suffered an injury during international duty, and which was being overlooked. So we're gonna talk about those things, and yeah, let's get into it. But quickly, guys, take a minute and turn on your push notification bell, subscribe, and make sure you're ready for the content when it comes up. Just help us support this channel. If you love what we're doing out here, thank you. But yeah, let's get into it. So. Antonio has shared his thoughts on a football's football podcast. It's weird how they kind of brought that together, but so this is what he says. Obviously, you see the qualities that he has. That's Antonio speaking, and everything that he brings to the team. A few games last year, you could see how well he is and the position that he plays. Obviously, he wanted to take him in the summer. He definitely has the qualities to play in the Premier League. It's just every manager has their philosophy and the way they want to play. It's one of those things that in football, managers just feel you're the one for them or not. Sometimes you outlive a manager, sometimes you don't. So he's clearly made his thoughts here. Telling us that Mctominay is a good player and could be a great addition to their team in terms of the way they play, and seeing as they had already tried to get him in the past summer, this could be a boost for the sale of Mctominay, especially considering his performances during international football. So. During international football and scoring 6 goals, I think, in the Euros, and also with the way he played against Brentford, and now the opportunities that might be presented to him after Casemiro's injury, and yeah, so I think West Ham might want to go for him again in the summer. Or maybe January, but that would be a surprise to me. So yeah, that's good news for us in terms of those fans who think that we have to offload Mctominay. Personally, I am one of them. He doesn't suit the style of play I want to see us play. I don't think he's quick to scan the area and play a pass and split the defensive side of things. I don't think he he has the prowess to be a united midfielder. I think that needs more intelligence and ball knowledge, and I don't really think he has that. But he has a knack to get into the box and be more attacking. And maybe West Ham is a place that he could be able to do that. So yeah, I'm happy with that news. That's good news for us. We might possibly be able to not get rid of him. That sounds a bit insulting for Mctominay, but we'll be able to afford him. Hopefully to a place where his career could be better. Because I don't think the manager is one that really likes Mctominay a lot. But yeah, so that's the news on Mctominay, and now we're gonna talk about Casemiro injury. I think this is coming from the Manchester Evening News, and apparently, as we all know, Casemiro had played through an injury during international duty. He came off early, I think, in the first half, and then he's played in the next game, which I think the Brazilian coach or the medical team had overlooked his ankle injury, and it just got worse after playing 90 minutes in the last game. But that's a problem for us. I think Casemiro is our star player, regardless of the positives or the negatives, as you might think of it, that the press is trying to put out about Casemiro. Yeah, let's just look at who they played against, because I think they lost to Uruguay. So yeah, he came off against Venezuela, against a draw with Venezuela on Friday with an ankle injury, and then he came in and played 90 minutes. Like, how do you play a player through injury, especially an ankle injury? Like, that's something that takes some time to heal. It's not easy to play with an ankle injury, but props to Casemiro for doing that. Yeah, I think that was a bad call by the Brazil medical team and also the manager for ignoring the problems and the potential problems and putting him on in the game against Uruguay, and which they ultimately lost. So yeah, that was a bad call. And also I want to talk about Casemiro in general. Obviously, I think it was last week or so where Ben Jacobs came out with that news about Casemiro holding a meeting with the manager and whatnot. I think Casemiro is one that's quickly falling out of favor with the manager, and I don't understand why. Because ultimately, I believe the manager is at fault for all the problems and the slow start to the season we've had, or the poor start rather to the season we've had. And Casemiro is just one more person to throw under the bus, in my opinion. Yeah. So the reason for all these papers and just trying to spin positivity around Manchester United and trying to back the manager is the reason that these papers are written this way, and it's the reason why Casemiro is being thrown under the bus right now, because the manager obviously he's falling out of favor with the manager, obviously. So what are the Manchester United papers going to try to do? What are they going to try to write about? They're going to try to write about how poor of a start he's had to the season. Obviously, when Ben Jacobs talked about it, he also talked about Casemiro having a poor form in general in the start of the season, in the start of this season. But if you look at it, Casemiro has 4 goals, right? Something like that. And He's also our top scorer, I think, still. So I think Haaland might be close on that too. But you see that Casemiro is doing more going forward, and thereby some of his duties defensively, it's some of his duties defensively is not being taken care of, and it's just too much for him. It's too much for him. He's made to do a lot because the manager doesn't know how to pick a good team, how to pick a good side to face a Premier League team, a subpar Premier League team in that aspect. The manager's not making the right decisions, and Casemiro has to suffer for it. I don't understand why. Casemiro is doing a lot more things attacking wise this season than he ever had to do in his career. Like, he's scoring 4 goals. He's trying to create a lot, and he's going forward a lot. He's going forward a lot this season. Like, some of his defensive duties are not being attended to, and we see that sometimes our midfield, or most times this season, our midfield is being overrun. Right? So our midfield is just being run through. So yeah, that defensive cover is not. It's kind of lacking because Casemiro has to create and score, because our team is lacking creativity going forward, and that's because of the manager's choices of putting Bruno on the right. Thereby, you're lacking creativity in the midfield. You're playing players out of position, so there's zero creativity going forward, and Casemiro has to do that, and he's working harder than he should. So in my opinion, it's just a disaster what's going on with Casemiro. Obviously, with the injury, that presents opportunities to Scott McTominay, and hopefully he takes it, right? Also, there's an injury boost that goes along with that. Obviously, yesterday we thought that Amrabat will be out for the Sheffield game, I think on Saturday, but there's good news coming out that he trained today, I think earlier today. He trained with the team, so that's a boost, but that also brings some concerns as well, because are we rushing him into playing on Saturday against Sheffield? Are we ignoring a potential injury that could become worse? I think that might be the case, because how would you say yesterday that Amrabat, had suffered some injury, and then all of a sudden he's training? I think the manager's just bringing him on too quickly, because he's figured out that he's lacking some midfield options there, and let's see how that goes. Hopefully that decision doesn't bite him in the ass. So yeah, I'm here for it. Let's see what happens with that. But yeah, I'm happy to say Amrabat is back as an option for tomorrow, at least as an option for tomorrow. So yeah, that's good news. Definitely great news. Lastly, before we round up this video, we're going to talk about Sancho, right? The Mirror has reported that three United players who are also best friends of Casemiro, of Jadon Sancho, apparently I've talked to him and tried to urge him to make peace with Eric Ten Hag, but Sancho's unwilling to compromise and swallow his pride. Senior United figures are now making plans for his exit in January's upcoming transfer. So yeah, it's no new news that Sancho is going to be going out, but it's just a lot of papers trying to put out that Sancho is the bad egg and whatnot. But you also have to question the manager as well, I think, on this one. He's not handled the situation well at all. Absolutely in no way has he handled this situation well, and he's ready to get rid of this player, and I think Casemiro is gonna fall in line with that too. This manager is just throwing everyone under the bus, like I've said so many times. I don't get what his problem is. I mean, Onana's not even being talked about enough, and he's cost us a lot of games this season. He's considered so many goals he shouldn't have. Yet Jadon Sancho is the problem. It's just ridiculous to me at this point. I can't keep talking about it. Like it's fucking ridiculous what this manager is doing right now. I don't know his angle. I don't know what he's trying to do. But yeah, according to the Mirror, Marcus Rashford, the likes of Marcus Rashford, Harry Maguire, Luke Shaw, talked to Sancho to try to make peace with Ten Hag, to try to apologize and whatnot. But we don't know the whole story about this. And Sancho is not someone that's egotistical to me. He doesn't look like a player with pride like that. The way he comes off in his press conferences and whatnot, and the way he relates with the England players and the Manchester United players, they seem to have a close bond. So I don't see any truth in that story that Marcus Rashford and Luke Shaw, Harry Maguire talked to him and he's blatantly refused to go apologize. I don't see any truth in that. But also, for him to put a statement quickly after the manager had spoken openly about him, about his training, I think that's also that's been fired up. That's been caused by a series of problems before, a series of decisions, or not being lied to by the manager, pretty much. Because this manager comes out with a lot of lies. If there's something else I haven't noticed, that's one thing that I've definitely noticed. The manager tries to cover things a lot in the press conferences, but I don't. The statements are just trying to back the manager, trying to put a positive spin on things for the manager and to help the fans get on board. But if you have a brain and try to dissect things, you see that there's probably still some dressing room problems in Manchester United right now. There's definitely dressing room problems, and I think that's gonna keep showing in the upcoming games. But yeah, Sancho apparently has refused to apologize, and big United figures are making plans on his January exit, and that's a good thing for Sancho, and I guess for the manager as well. But his team selections are going to be, thwarted, and he wouldn't have a lot of options. And Sancho's a good player. He's a very good player. He keeps the ball well, and he progresses with the ball very well. He looks for passing options always. He tries to play with the team. He's a team player, which is why I really like about him. And he'll be good for any club that will take him. And I think he was right to be mad. And there are probably other reasons we don't know about, which is made him refuse to apologize. Because I don't think he's someone with so much ego. So there's a lot more underlying problems that we don't know about that's causing this reaction. But yeah, that's the news I have for you guys today. Just lately, or what's been put out. So yeah, the big takeaway: Casemiro is injured. He'll be out for 2 games. Definitely be out for Sheffield and Copenhagen Champions League game. But having an ankle injury is it could be such a huge problem. So I'm not sure how long he'll be out for. Amrabat is one to watch out for, because I don't know what his injury, what kind of injury he might be carrying. So yeah, Amrabat is back, so that's a big positive. Also, Mctominay might be getting a transfer with his recent performances, so that's also a positive for us. So yeah, there's a few positives surrounding Manchester United today, which is not usually a daily occurrence. There's always something negative to talk about, but yeah, a few positives today. We'll go with that. We'll roll with that. Let's hope for better things leading up to the Sheffield game on Saturday. And also quickly, I forgot to say, Sheffield also have some injury blows, so that will be great for us. That's a game we have to go in there and win. So let's see how that goes. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, try to support the channel. I'll see you guys on the next one.